Hey everybody, it's the Modern Native. So we're gonna hang out by the fire, have a little open chat, just chill out, see who comes and hangs out. Maybe they won't be talking just so, so that's what you saw. Um, just fast forward past this point and enjoy sweet serenity, sleep like Sunfish for fish. What's going on? How's it going? Thought I was going to be completely dead over here. You, you want to come up? I'm just hanging out, sitting by the fire, waiting for someone to come and hang out and chat. Kind of doing an open panel thing. But I'm definitely doing a I need to see that it's actually you kind of thing. And I know you. I know you're going to show me your fish tanks. But I got dick flashed the other night, and I ain't doing that again.
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm assuming that you. I actually have never seen your face, but I recognize your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got straight up dick flashed the other night.
What?
I got dick flashed the other night. This dude copied Johnny Smallpepper's profile, and he tried
Yeah.
to come up. I trust Johnny Smallpepper, and fucking he pops up, and before I could kick him out because I realized it wasn't him, he walks into
Yeah.
the bathroom, dick to the camera, and I'm like, son of a, ruined an hour stream.
I just I'm still kind of leery of like that community that we was involved in. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
So like I'm just still like the people that kind of mess with that community. I'm kind of leery of, man.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of different drama with different people and a lot of different issues,
Yeah.
and it. I fell off for like months anyway, so I'm still just getting back.
Yeah,
So, but I'm pumping them out like regular now.
yeah. And see, I just dropped right out of it. I was like, dude, I'm done with y'all. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And me and
No, like
Northwood, we did our own thing.
I
And
wasn't even up.
that's something we should do too. Here pretty soon, I'll get with Northwoods and we can all collab together and do a live together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, that's what YouTube's about, is about connecting and everybody, like, especially with like what you do, like everybody has their own little ways of doing it. So it's like really cool to see how everybody does their own little way about like one subject.
Yeah, that's exactly my point on my channel. It's I'm not showing you the
Yeah.
right way, I'm showing you my way. And it's not saying anybody does anything wrong. If you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, like it fucking
Oh
works.
yeah.
Like, do I agree that it's a good idea to throw a shit ton of gas on top of the fire and to get it going? No. But if it work for you, well, as long as you don't blow up, I mean, kudos.
Yeah, oh yeah. So have you guys got any like livestock going or anything like that?
No, I'm trying to convince Ma to let me do a homestead here. It's my wife's aunt's mom, so I just call her
Yeah.
Ma. Uh, no, I'm trying to convince her to let me have a homestead, but I want to have the plan all written out and set up and like have my head count, how much it's going to cost to feed them, how much money I can make off of them,
Yeah.
so that she doesn't really like any questions she has. Because the first time I started talking about it, she goes, "Well, how much is it going to cost to feed those kind of that amount of animals?" And I'm like, "I haven't done the math yet, but I'll get back to you." So I haven't talked to her again since. I wanted to
Like,
actually have.
I highly recommend, because I'm kind of doing the homestead thing here, but I'm doing it kind of like, I'm in the county. All right, I'm not in a city. I'm in a county, like our regulations are county.
Yeah, like you're not in agricultural area. You're more like suburban, rural kind of.
Yeah. I'm just sorry, I had somebody drive by slowly.
I was gonna say, what's up? You were watching the creeper. I knew it.
Man, we just a couple hours ago we had a guy run over our mailbox. Like we've been having problems with our neighbors down the street. Like they get drunk and stuff like that, and then they like this is the second time they hit my mailbox and ran into my fence. So I'm
See,
really cautious about
that's why I'm trying to set up like a community kind of thing. I'm trying to set it up to where I get a bunch of like-minded people. Like you know how people always talk about setting up the survival community.
it. Oh
I'm
yeah.
legit talk like I'm
Oh yeah, you're
legit
living it every day.
gonna do it.
You're surviving every day as it is. Like
Yeah,
you don't
like
have the
I've already said it.
company says like I do. Like I got air conditioning and shit like that. But it seems like you're not doing that. It seems like you're actually getting out there every day and doing it. So you're like really good at
We're
your
full-time camping.
yeah. So you're good at your profession.
Yeah,
Now like
and
the real like you
that's
got to
why I want to
challenge
start
yourself
the
though.
bushcraft camp survival.
Yeah. Just
I'm
I
going
mean like
to
man.
I'm going to do a Widowmaker self rescue challenge where I take a big tree and I drop it that I'm going to drop for firewood. But when I go to delimit to where it's going to nestle on the ground, I'm going to leave the last one up so that
Yeah.
way I can under it and knock that one out. So that way it'll lay on top of me and I have to dig my way out and show everybody on a live how to self rescue yourself if you were happen to get caught by a tree.
But like what you're gonna have with you, like you're not gonna have a shovel or anything like that. You just what you're gonna have your normal gear. Like
If it's pinned across my midsection, I'm not gonna be able to reach my belt. I'm not gonna be able to grab my belt knife to dig, so I'm gonna have to take a branch that I just broke off and dig around myself to give myself enough space to crawl out.
yeah.
And I want to show people the struggle. Like if you're in that kind of situation, there's a struggle. And even though I did it to myself, there will probably be a moment where I kind of panic, and I want people to see that.
Yeah, because you are going to panic in those situations. You are, no matter what. You're human.
Even putting yourself in it, like I know I am pinned by 5, 6, 7, 800 pounds of wood that I can't move unless I dig myself out because my legs can't move that.
It's like here, man. Like if you do that, you're pinned.
Yeah,
Like because the soil here is it's nothing but clay and rock.
here it's soft, so I'm stuck, and I'm gonna sink because that tree is gonna sink, and that's gonna be the worst part. That tree's gonna sink like an inch or two as it is. So as I dig out, as I get some space underneath me, it's gonna keep sinking. So I'm gonna have to dig myself enough space to actually crawl out.
Oh yeah.
I've been trying to think of different survival challenges because, uh, hey, watch your ass.
Oh,
I got some crack in the screen. It wasn't too bad. Close.
the tree frog.
But I've been trying to think of a new survival challenge because I did my you just but after I did my survival challenge, the falling through the ice. I think you were there for that one when I went in the creek
Mm-mm.
and
But like
I built
that's good because like
the
the
fire
Russians, you're cutting in and out, man.
to dry myself out.
I said you're cutting in and
Were you
out.
there for that live? Yes, no.
Yeah,
No, you didn't see that one then?
you're cutting in and out.
Just give it 1 second. 1 second. Wait for my signal.
Okay, I can hear you, but just a little bit. All right, is it better? I'm gonna be right back.
I'm back now.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
The whole time, my signal had dropped out there for a minute. You hear me now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
yeah.
I was gonna say my signal dropped out there for a second. A storm's coming through. I had sent you it on the private message, but it didn't come through till
Oh,
after you had walked away.
I just, yeah. Storm. Okay. Yeah, damn storms.
Yeah, it's just a light trickle of a rain, but it was enough for my signal to go, oh fuck, oh I don't wanna. Okay, I'll do it.
Oh, we need it bad, man.
Huh?
We
Where are
need the
you at?
rain bad. I'm in North Central Texas.
Oh yeah, you're there around Big Matt,
No, Big Matt's down south of mine.
Texas. To me, it's the same fucking thing. If you're in Texas, you're in Texas.
Yeah, but like the cool thing about Texas though, you can drive 2 hours in direction from the center of Texas and be in a different terrain. Like
Well,
you like
people don't think about that of New York State, but it's kind of like the same thing with you guys. People don't think about that with Texas. New
yeah,
York's no, it's freaking huge, and most of it isn't even New York City.
yeah.
But yeah, so what I was saying before I cut out because of the stupid signal was I did my fall into the creek winter survival challenge. I'm pretty sure you were there at least for a little bit of that, and you had popped in when I was making my fire up on the creek, and I was soaking wet, and it was my survival challenge. But you couldn't really tell much. It was a shitty signal and shitty on my phone. I'm glad I got my new one. This
Oh
thing is
yeah.
beautiful.
You ever heard of one rod, one reel fishing?
Oh, I've heard that name thrown around quite a bit. I
He
can't.
actually did that challenge a couple times.
What
Like he
the
purposely, yeah, like he there's this pond and stuff like that. He purposely like did that to himself.
Rewild University did the same thing.
Yeah, but over in Russia, they do that too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they make
It's
the kids go out there when it's cold, like with nothing on, and then help build their immune.
yeah. Well, that's the polar bear challenge. They prep themselves and then they do it and then they recover. My whole thing was what would happen if you fell into a frozen lake fully clothed and you had to figure it out from what you had on you. Like I didn't
Yeah,
bring nothing with me. It was what I had on me. I had to have a ferro rod because that's what I carry with me anyway.
but you did it in a creek. Like I don't want you to do it fully, like because I understand why you did it in a creek, but don't do it in a full scale because of those facts. But you got factors when that happens when you like on like a deep lake and you're on the ice and you fall through. You literally got to look up to see where the hole is.
Well, yeah, that definitely not. Well, mine had its own issues because a little bit behind where I went in, it was over my head.
Oh, okay.
And I walked in, and as I walked in, I broke a shelf. So when I stepped into the water, I took a couple more steps, and that big old shelf that I just broke started tumbling behind me. And that
Yeah,
shit hit my leg and then went, but I loosened up the shelf, and then a larger one fell and hit me in the chest. And that shit
yeah,
almost took me, dragged me down into the friggin' heavy end. I didn't actually like explain exactly how bad that was because the wife was watching my live from inside the cabin, and I didn't
yeah.
want her to find out that I just took 300 pounds to the chest and almost fucking died. Would have made a better video, but I didn't want to say that and have her have a fucking heart attack because I
Yeah.
did. I had bruise marks straight across my chest because that shit hit me, and that
You
shit almost
know,
took.
I know you want to show people what it is to go through that stuff, but like really keep in mind your own health. All right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I
Um,
always make told like that was a freak fucking thing with the ice shelf. I wasn't expecting. I
yeah.
wouldn't expect to do it.
Well, nature's like that, man. You like it makes you fully understand things when you go through them, though.
Well, yeah, that's also what I'm trying to depict is like
Yeah.
I'm putting myself in this situation to show you guys how to get yourself out of it, and I can still have things go wrong.
Like we really owe it to the people who tried that berry.
Yeah, somebody
I mean, for real.
somebody was just saying that on Tasha's live, saying who figured out that the poison berry was poisonous.
Yeah, like we really like salute to those people. Because like most of the poison berries we have here in the U.S. Anyways, like if you don't eat like a lot of them, and like the Native Americans knew not to eat a whole lot of them. because due to the fact, like even mulberries, if you eat a lot of mulberries, they make you sick.
Well, see, what most people don't get is natives were smart. They
Yeah,
watched the if a deer was eating off of a bush, I can eat off of a bush.
yeah,
Birds weren't the safest bet, but it still led you in the right direction. If
oh
birds were
yeah,
feeding over here, okay, well, let's see what the deer are eating over here.
oh
Almost,
yeah,
almost every time. That's what they base their diet on is if a deer was eating it, it was safe. If a rabbit
yeah,
was eating it on the ground, it was safe.
yeah.
So they ate sugar, they ate berries. There's a like
But it's like
I
you know what a hedge apple is?
hmm?
You know what a hedge apple is? There's certain things that animals can eat, but we can't eat because our body doesn't digest it right. And like with a hedge apple, like if you do it just right, like you got to do it just right. Like the center, you got to clean it out just right. I've actually learned about it in Oklahoma about like the what they used to use those for. Like you can eat them, like they used them for like an insulation because like if you break down the whole hedge apple itself, it's fibered.
Hmm. I've never heard of a hedge apple.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up. Sounds interesting.
Well, like okay, so like I grew up in Kansas and now I'm in Texas, so like I basically grew up where like the Great Plain Indians were. And so like they had the hickory that they can make bows out of, and they had the okay, you know what an Osage tree is?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a you know what an Osage apple is? That's what
No,
I'm
I
talking about. Hedge apple. That's what they are.
I just knew of the wood.
Yeah,
I
but
reckon
the Osage and stuff, that's what they use to make their bow limbs, make their whole bows.
I really want to make my own bow this year. I really gotta find it.
Oh yeah.
And everybody asks me, I'm still working on my walking sticks.
Yeah. I mean, I could
Uh,
tell you a lot about how they made them because my mom had a friend that made traditional Native American art.
hmm
Like he made bows and everything. And so what he did was like he'll get like a good limb and just like take it all the way down to like the center core of the limb and then
Yeah,
shape his bow out. And then he'll like do like a water, like he'll soak it in water and then like put it over the fire, kind of get like that bend to it.
yeah, it's steaming it.
Yeah,
I know the process.
yeah,
I what I want to do is instead of using just the core, I want to use get the right size sapling to where I cut on the inside to where it's gonna bend, and I can
yeah,
weave the outside where at my hand grip the outside edge is still gonna have the bark on it.
yeah.
Because I can handle a wider grip, so I can go from just on the outside edge of the core to the outside edge of the bark, and that would be a nice grip size for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. One of these days, if I go live, I got actually some lot of Indian artifacts that I found here in Texas because I spent a lot of time on the river. So I found like spearheads. I found like tools. I found like this like it's old Native American toy. It's like a rock. It has a smiley face carved into it.
Yeah,
I actually did a video on it on my channel.
I gotta check that out. Uh, I've always wanted to find something. I've got terrible luck. I don't find things like
Well,
magnet. I didn't find anything. Uh, when I'm out creek walking, all I ever find is just garbage, which is great. I get to clean out the creek, but
yeah,
it's always wanted to find
no, get down.
native artifact.
Get down.
Down here, my ancestors lived in the valley where I was camping,
Yeah,
where I was filming all last year. I was camping where my ancestors used to camp.
hell yeah.
No, that was I was the most connected to that land. So
So
upset.
so like down here, the way I found some of my artifacts is like I think like them. Like I kind of think like if I'm gonna camp or have where a place I'm gonna live, like a lot of the times that they lived, uh, like where two rivers meet. That was like really common in the plains too.
No,
Like it
yeah,
was considered a spiritual ground.
up here they chose the high ground just above the water
Yeah,
because we flood lines all throughout this area, and they flooded bad at the because now we have the water reservoir that holds it, but before the whole valley would flood out. So there were certain points just above the water line. Um, the farm where my mom's ashes are spread is a spot where they were believed to have been settled.
oh
But
yeah,
the problem is now most of the high grounds that wouldn't have been flooded at the time are now filled by the man-made lake, which is the reservoir. They filled the whole
yeah.
valley. They moved everybody out. They filled the whole valley.
But you could still stumble across hunting camps. You know what I mean? Like I've stumbled across hunting camps out here, like because how the Brazos River is, like, is where I used to have some property at. Like, literally, my property backed up to the Brazos River, and like right across it was like a big ass plateau, like covered in trees, and that's where they were staying. I swear, because like we found so many rocks with footprints in it, like there was just too much evidence of them there. And and you got what they call the tracer trees, where they're like bent down and up.
Where they bent the tiny little sapling, 200-300 years
Yeah, they
ago.
grew bigger, so it's like like that shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff. Those were up there. Um, what else did we find? We found it where like there was like a cave where there was like some kind of a little bit of drawing in it, but you couldn't really make it out because it was so old.
Yeah, it was probably an etching, not a painting, so it got weathered.
I mean, whatever it was pretty cool. Like it was pretty cool to actually see all that. I mean, it was kind of dangerous getting up in there because of all the copperheads, but I had like, but it was really neat to see all how like they lived on these top of these plateaus, and like I knew why because like living on that property and seeing the river and how the river was like before, like I can only imagine how it was back then, like when it was not
Touched.
damp, when it was not dammed and stuff like that, because like that river right there would change like in a quickness. And so like we found it where like they have shelves, like a shelving in the we got fucking what do we got here? Limestone. Shelving in the limestone, like it looked like they carved it all out
Yep, the limestone cutouts. Yeah.
and stuff, and that's where like like it was kind of built like with one step up to the plateau.
Hmm.
And so I guess the water was getting up that high because we didn't find nothing else. We didn't find nothing else like underneath that where that plateau was. We found footprints, everything up on the top.
Yeah, that would have been the water line. That
You
that
know?
that would have been their flood line. They
And
would have
so
blocked
like
that where it was.
yeah.
There's not there.
So I can only imagine the Brazos River back in the early like 1800s, like how dangerous it was.
See, the biggest problem with finding places here is, it was all impermanent shelters. It was all longhouses, teepees,
Yeah.
huts. It was all stuff that within 20, 30 years even is rotted and decrepit and gone and just gone. So, I mean, except for stones and after a certain point, metal pieces, unless I find an actual evidentiary spot where I can actually search with a metal detector, but I've never had a metal detector. And, a magnet don't really help out in the woods.
I mean,
Not
there's
that much.
still plenty of evidence of the 1800s here. Like it hasn't fully deteriorated away. There's still trees where they used to hang people.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you could tell like the way the big oaks were and stuff like that, and then the rope burns into the tree. Like it was like they I can't really explain it. It's like
It's a
It looked
scar
like,
div growth of
yeah,
the
it
tree.
scarred the tree to enough where it was like a perfect like little scar around there. So like, yeah,
Yeah, you see it with the tire swings.
yeah,
It's the same thing with a tire swing that's been there for years, decades, and the tree's been growing and it's got that pinch scar.
yeah.
Obviously, much more fun of a ride.
During the smallpox epidemic, like actually I need to do a video on this. Like I need to go to Georgia Cemetery because there's some graves out there that date back to like the early 1800s.
We
And I
definitely
think,
should do the smallpox genocide, but just saying.
yeah.
I do appreciate that you refer to them as natives. It's
Well, I got native blood in me, man.
it irritates the shit out of my wife, and it bugs me a little bit when people call us Indians, and I'm like,
Yeah.
not to be racist, but I don't have a red dot. It's I'm Native American.
Like
I'm a
I
native.
always get people, I was like, what are you talking about? Like the Red Dot Indians or the Wawa Indians? Like
Yeah, yeah.
they're Native Americans.
How or own, but it's frustrating sometimes, and I hate that the tribes decided to change it to indigenous people.
Yeah, it's just
It just sound and it has
like
in
South American, like indigenous people of the South Americans, not the people that used to run the plains.
I don't know, but I have an evolutionary mindset anyway. It's like all of the natives that were in the Americas came from Mongolia anyway when they crossed the Bering Strait during the Ice Age.
Yeah,
So I mean, technically, Native Americans are hereditary Asian
in a way, yeah. I can
genetically.
see a lot of similarities, especially with your Inuit Inuit Indians.
Inuit
That's what I'm
natives.
Yeah, Inuit natives. My bad, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You could see that with them.
So the word was in your head.
But you could see the Japanese influence though too.
Yeah, and it's the Mongolian rounded faces,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see the it's almost like an Asiatic cheekbone structure to most natives, and that's why I'm really keen on the evolutionary aspect. And it's like, what else would explain regional changes to people's body structure, and skin tone? If you're in a harsh sun, hot like the 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 atmosphere over Africa itself is like not thinner but almost more exposed, which is why genetically they create more melanin, which is the
Oh
dark
yeah.
color. So that's why they are genetically built to be darker and longer, larger limbed to be able to expel heat. The Inuits, Mongols, they are smaller structured to be able to hold in their heat, and their skin tone, because they are mostly covered and mostly in the cold, their skin tone isn't as dark and it's more of that yellowish tone because of the lack of vitamin D genetically.
Yeah.
So it's
Look
like
at
you
look
can
at the
rationalize the aspect people have as to why they developed that way in the evolutionary phase. But sorry, go
yeah
ahead.
the Aztecs. All right. We're gonna go to Aztecs now because of the fact that like they made it so far down to South America.
Pre-Spanish,
Huh?
pre-Spanish conquistadors,
No.
like before them.
Like before that, like
Yeah,
like before their influence and everything like that, because there was apparently something there in South America. There's somebody there in South America. People. I mean, if you look at the tribes down there, and stuff, you can kind of see the influence of, you know, of that of all the natives and like in a way
Yeah.
with the rounded, like he was talking about the rounded face and everything like that.
I got a question for you. Who do you believe was the first one, like, not of the people descended from those that crossed the Bering Strait? Who do you think was the first people to land and interact with those natives?
Well, it wasn't hell Columbus. It
Oh,
was the
fuck no.
Spanish.
Hmm?
I think the Spanish have been here longer than like the Spanish. This is yeah. I think the Spaniards, man, for real. I think
You're not
because the
thinking,
Spaniards, because okay, so like I'm gonna bring this up with the Longhorns because I like Longhorn cattle. They're originally from South America. A lot of people don't know that, and
yeah, they're
so
from
like
Spanish Bowl.
yeah, so they brought them over here because they can withstand the changes of the weather.
Yeah,
And
drastic.
so they, drastic changes of the weather to deal with, like to get beef,
I mean, you're
the
right. The Spanish were here, and the Spanish were here before Columbus. Now, who was here before the Spanish?
who knows?
The Vikings were here before the Spanish, and the Egyptians were here before them.
I mean, we can't really say, like look,
There's evidence where they have
there's no,
seen.
there's no physical way that like somebody can like say, oh, I discovered America. I mean, America's too freaking big.
Well, just follow me here. There's been evidence. I can't remember where I saw it or whatever, but there was evidence that they had seen Egyptian influence and artifacts on the western coast of the Americas. I can't really remember if it was like California or Mexico or like in that region, but it was like southern-ish western area of the Americas.
I think I know what you're talking about. Like they made like these little these little dome things.
Yeah, and follow my process here. The pyramids that were Aztec made are very similar to Egyptian. They're the only natives in all of the Americas to decide to work with gold. Very
Yeah,
similar in process and style to the Egyptians. Their
yeah.
writing was very, very, very similar to hieroglyphics.
So
But
like
how
the native, so they got some of their influences from the natives in.
that's what I believe. I believe that the Egyptians landed, kind of pretended to be gods the way Columbus thought he was going to, but then
Yeah,
by admitting that they were men. He put it in his diary. They were so stupid that they literally reached out and cut themselves upon my sword. We could rule these with nay a word.
yeah.
That's exactly what he said in his diary. But they were too dumb because instead of being one big special man who was presented as a god, which is a style of the Egyptians, they were just men with a commander. So
Oh
the
yeah,
Egyptians, or so the natives saw that. But when the Egyptians interacted, I believe they presented themselves with their leader as a god the way they do,
yeah. With the gifts and everything like that, like they showed their respect.
carrying them on a pedestal kind of thing, how they would do that. I believe that
Yeah,
that was seen by the Aztec natives. And so they wanted to learn from them and be like their gods and this, that, and the other. And that's what the deities are from. And if you look at the Aztec gods' um, effigies, their depictions,
yeah.
how many of them seem like they have dreadlocks or long flowing locks?
Oh, I know. I know exactly what you mean, dude. And they're still finding more Aztec things. Like they got new technology now where they can fly through the canopy, like fly over the canopies
Mm-hmm.
and survey the ground, so they can find those huts,
Real
find
quick,
those little compounds.
maniac,
And
have a good
so
one. Sleep.
and
Thanks
so
for
they
popping.
uh,
Sorry, go
and
ahead.
so they're finding more and more evidence of what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's like
And I believe it.
the only thing beyond that is, I'm sorry, like with evolution, you kind of have to have the thought process that there could be a possible of alien influence. Now,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you get into aliens and the Egyptians, dude, you're knocking right on my door because, dude, like there is so much influence from the Egyptians about aliens, even in
they're
their hieroglyphics. There is.
their flashlight and the fact that the pyramid was copper lined, like there's a lot of different things. But
Yeah.
besides the fact that they're all astrologically perfectly aligned, which is nearly impossible to do because the telescopes at that time couldn't even see what they're fucking aligned with. But beyond that, think about this thought. Think about this thought. If I was a superior alien race and I needed to, I still can't decide if we're a farm or a science experiment. That's the only thing. That's the motive I can't decide. Are we a farm or a science experiment? And were we abandoned? Because I believe God was actually an alien. Nah, presenting himself as God and delivering these messages, this technology, these aspects, these rules, this guidance to
Yeah.
guide science project or this farm to be in the direction it needs to go for proper growth. Don't kill each other. Don't steal from each other. Don't piss each other off. Go forth and multiply. What does that really sound like? Fuckers, get over there and start fucking making me babies. I need to get some butchering going. I mean, come on.
Then if that's the case, then why do people die then?
Critical mass.
Why am I critical mass?
We haven't been harvested yet because we haven't reached critical mass yet. I think they're waiting for us to get to the point that we have the maximum amount of numbers before we start actually declining, and then that's when they harvest.
You can actually look this up. We're in a decline. We're in a population decline.
And that brings me up to another thought that I think of. The people who choose not to have kids are actually usually people with a higher IQ, higher intelligence, a better job status, better
Yeah.
psychological health. So, so the people we want to have in our genetic pool are the ones that are like, nah, I'm out. And the people who are reproducing are the motherfuckers on welfare trying to multiply their kids into the point where they don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Dumb as a box of fucking rocks. Our structure's really fucked.
Oh, it is really fucked, man. Everything's really fucked.
I honestly believe you should have a certain IQ or intelligence status before you can multiply. And if
Yeah.
not, you get. And I know that's cruel. That's mean. Like that. That's just absolutely mean. But it's. I'm sorry.
No,
Our world is a finite resource, and we waste way too much of it on stupid.
yeah. But you got to look at it this way too. Like an intelligent person and stuff wouldn't stool on it like a stupid person because a stupid person is actually a tool to an intelligent person due to the fact that that stupid person is going to bend the rules of something and break it and get themselves killed. So that makes the more intelligent person like improve that product or improve, that thing.
So stupid finds the fallacy.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
they do
always a
always
balance.
made it stupid proof. I made it idiot proof. Like that's the phrase.
Yeah, I mean that's why there's warning labels on uh, those damn Tide Pods.
Like that example. If you think that you've gotten smarter as the decades have gone on, think about the fact that your grandfather's manual had for the car had the way to take apart the engine and reconstruct it. Now it has a warning telling you not to lick the spark plugs. Who's the dummy now? If you can name that quote, you'll be my best friend.
I forgot that movie. Is that Sling Blade?
No, Major Pain.
Oh, Major Payne.
Come on, guys, it's just a dummy grenade. Who's the dummy now?
You ever heard of the little train that could? That was my favorite part of the whole movie when he's sitting there. That's that little kid telling him the war story on the train.
Yeah.
The shit was
I
fucking
still,
hilarious.
you scared of needles? You want me to take your mind off that pain? Yeah, give me. Now you might feel a little bit of pressure.
That was a really good movie.
Oh yeah, and I can quote the whole thing. Like I've watched that since I was in single digits. Still watch it every year, at least a couple of times.
Oh yeah, Major Payne is definitely like a steeple.
Yeah, I can do entire sections of that movie, just like I can do 300. My R! It's not yours anymore. It does not belong to you anymore. That's what he says. I do random trivia throughout the day, and I do it. I screw with my wife all the time with it. I test her, see what she can get. She's gotten a lot better because I test her all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh, here's something interesting. You just want just something interesting. You know the drink Fanta?
Fanta?
Yeah, you know the it's an orange
Soda.
uh, soda.
Yeah.
It was created in Germany during World War II because of the it was like a substitute for Coca-Cola because
Yeah,
they couldn't Coca-Cola.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, I like learning stuff like that.
And I
It's
don't know
like
why when it was Fanta, I always thought it was Hispanic.
yeah, I always thought it too, but it wasn't. It's German.
I was gonna say, that makes sense, right? That doesn't sound racist.
No, no, Fanta ain't that. No, it's German.
Yeah,
You know the
we were doing trivia on Tasha's channel, the random trivia.
oh yeah.
So what
Oh
are you
yeah,
gonna
I
say?
got a lot of trivia, dude. I got a lot of trivia in my head. Like, I got one for you. Did you know Zepco, real company, used to make bombs? They literally, before they became a real company, they used to make bombs for World War II. During World War II, they made the shells.
Oh yeah, those were the fucking the carpet bomber bombs.
Yep.
Sorry,
The
it took me a second
Zepco.
to think about it. I have a near photographic memory, but I have to access it like a fucking file computer.
Yeah.
So like I have references and it kind of like triggers certain things to pop up and like a goddamn search engine in my head. So like when you were saying Zepco, like it popped in my head. I pictured this fucking cartoon atom bomb looking thing, and I was like, no, that's not quite right, but I got the right shape. And then I
Yeah.
making the bombs in World War II, and then I was like, wait, those are the ones that made the carpet bomber bombs that went in the big
Mhm.
ass C-130s or whatever the fuck they were called at the time, and C-37.
Yep. They were made in Oklahoma.
And I'm pretty sure it's a C-37. And they were fucking the ones that were on the chain release carpet bombs, and those were the ones that had the faulty timer. That there's still some that are uh, scattered throughout Europe because they didn't detonate, but they got buried by rubble.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's some
like I got
scary.
some serious trivia in my head, bro.
That's some scary shit. Be out there plowing the field one day and blow up.
It's happened. Construction cranes will be a backhoe will be digging out something, and if I can hit a piece of metal, they freak. If they're in a part of bomb torn Europe, they freak if they hit something metal and they're digging.
Oh, I bet, dude.
Yeah, bring out a scanner, hand diggers, everything.
Dude, it's just amazing how everything works. Like what really helped me out learning is actually hands-on doing it.
Yeah, me too. But like I said, I do also have a damn near photographic memory.
Yeah.
Things I hear, things I see, get if it doesn't get immediately let go, it's implanted.
Oh yeah, and that's a good thing to do for survival too, because of the fact that you have landmarks. Like that's how I do it too. Like when I got in the woods and stuff, I give myself landmarks. There's certain trees that look different than other trees. You know what I mean? Or certain things like rocks, or my favorite thing to do if I don't have anything like that, everything kind of looks, peculiar. And so what I do is break limbs and I face them down. Like I would just snap them down like this. And so that's my trail. Like, and I do that every like 50 to 75 feet.
See, I can tell direction because I do a quick thing where I'm like, what time is it? All right, it's 3 o'clock. All right, where's the sun? It's over
Yeah.
here. Uh, Going that way, so that's north. All right,
Like
so
I'm facing south right now and I got north behind me. Like I know where
uh,
I'm at.
I'm facing the opposite. I'm facing south. North is behind me.
Yeah. Because I know I got the North Star right over here. Like I can see it
While
with
I'm
the
out there
sun.
navigating an area that I don't know, I I will take note of when I step off of a trail, like wherever I'm at to where a known location. I pick the direction that I'm walking, which direction that is on the compass, and as long
Okay.
as I general direction, I know at any point in time when I want to get back, I just figure out the opposite direction and I go in that general area, and I don't get lost because eventually I'll see a
Yeah.
mark, find my trail from there.
Oh yeah.
I've been
Like I
walking in
never
the
do it either, dude.
I've been walking in the woods since before I was in school. Like my mom told me a story. My mom passed away when I was 15, but she told me a story when I was a kid that when I was 2.5, 3 years old, she couldn't find me. Then she was looking for me, and she just hears this, "Mommy, mommy, help, help," coming from the woods. And I am in the woods, like a good distance into the woods, 30 feet up into a tree, hanging upside down with a tree branch behind my knees. She doesn't know how I got up there.
Oh man.
She doesn't know how I'm getting down, but she knows she's not going to be there to see it. And she tells me this, and she goes inside.
Hell yeah. See, I grew up in Kansas. Like I grew up in the country out there, so like on the back of our property, I can literally like we used to walk out there and like you could walk this creek for fucking ever. We used to go do that and do that. Dude, one day did we walk that creek for fucking like we walked it for about half a day. And when you're younger, dude, and you're moving, we probably got, I don't know, about 6 miles out. That was fun.
I used to love creek walking. I still do.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I still love that stuff too. I get out there and do it. It's just here in Texas, like if it's not the river, or like a major creek off the river than like other smaller creeks. Like the property owner owns it, so you can't really just be up on there. Which sucks. Like you just can't just like in Kansas, like it didn't really care. Like it's the waterway.
You know, we have a lot of property out here that people don't maintain, they don't watch,
Oh yeah.
and there's a lot of them that are kind of like known public open use kind of thing. Like people just go and ride their four wheelers, they go hunting, they go camping, they do whatever they want on it because the property owners, it's been in the family for like 30 years and nobody's ever done nothing. And trying to get everybody to stop using it ain't gonna happen anyway. So we've got a ton of those properties. And I was playing on one of them about halfway through. I did notify him and let him know I was using it, and he he didn't say anything, so I took it as permission.
Yeah. Like down here, they'll come with, talk with you with a gun.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely down there. But his response when I told him that I camped down there, and he was like, "Oh, you one of those people that go down there and trash everything and leave your trash everywhere?" I was like, "Nah, man, I've pulled out bags and bags of trash out of there." You go, "Yeah, I've pulled out trailers." So then we were pals. Like, as soon as I said I was cleaning up his property, he didn't give a fuck.
No,
Because I did.
no,
I Before I even knew it was private property, I thought it was public property. That's how open public use it was. I thought that was a thing.
yeah, like I can go to Kansas right now. Like I still got like farmers and stuff because like I knew their families and everything like that. Like I got places where I can go hunt up there. Like I'm more welcome to just to go up there and just, I go to the house and talk to them and get the paperwork filled out because you have to have permission to do that. Proper paperwork permission to hunt on private property if it's not your own property. It's just better off doing that. So,
Yeah.
and and that's another thing. Like you can ask people to go hunt on their property. You just gotta have written permission. So that's just ensuring you if the game warden shows up because the game warden ain't gonna pull up no shit. Like they're not gonna put up with it. So like if you don't have your shit straight, then they're gonna be like, what could he charge this dude with?
See out here, it's too much effort for DEC to. If you're, they're like, you own it? No. Do you have permission? Yeah. Okay. Your tag's good? Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so yeah.
'Cause they don't want to have to fucking find out who actually owns the property, find out their
Yeah.
contact, all of them, verify that that's their identity, verify that the person in front of them is actually supposed to be there. It's too much effort for them because they have to
Yeah.
do it 3 times a day because there's a lot of old time family properties out here that have dozens of people that hunt on them. So they'll spend all day doing that shit and never get anybody that's actually doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, a lot of the times you go to places where you get your license and stuff like that, you can actually get those little booklets for that information. I'm just like talking in general for like other people, like if they want to like try to venture off, public land and try to go, try to do private land, but they're being respectful and being, like with that, like one thing I learned with that is like if you especially go and hunt on somebody's land and kill something, you give them some meat.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you don't tell them that you're gonna give them meat or nothing like that. You just when if you do it, just give them some meat. They will love that. If you're always respectful, everything like that, and of course you're gonna go up to some houses and nobody's gonna answer you. Yeah, you're gonna go to some houses and people are gonna tell you no. But eventually, if you keep at it, you're gonna find a couple good ones.
Yeah, it's like with trying to set up my bushcraft camp survival school I want to set up. Um,
Yeah,
I can't get an agreement going with Ma. That's my next step is kind of looking around, finding the property I like, and asking around.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the times you talk to those people that have like thousands of acres and stuff. A lot of the times they're like, "Yeah, dude, I got a little bit I can get rid of." They're
Like I
like,
don't
"This,
even. I just need to use it. Nothing's going to be fully permanent. It's just going to be enough to have an area to teach people.
oh yeah,
So that way I can start my business, start making money that way. Because I got people still waiting. I got people waiting to come and do classes at my bushcraft camp survival school that I haven't even made yet.
oh man." I mean, I got a little setup here. Like, I got the chickens, and I got quail in the incubator right now. I'm trying to get some quail to hatch,
Nice.
so I can use those, to start my colony of quail.
See, I want to do Orpington,
What are those?
chickens, and I want to make my own specialty breed goat, which
Yeah.
is going to be a Toggenburg and a Boer cross. I'm going to call it a Toggenboer.
You want to see my chickens?
Sure.
I can go grab one. They all look the same pretty much. I'll be right back.
Hiya to whoever's joining, hanging out with Sunfish for Fish. He's going to show us a chicken. So while we're at it, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here, but nice code word for the replay from the comment section. We're going to do chicken. Hey, 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 she's not here. Don't get excited. She's not. My dogs are like, where is she? Where is she? Because back at the cabin, because I had deer hanging in the yard, I used to let them chase the chickens at the yard.
Yeah. Yeah, she's an egg layer now. I've had these for about 4 months. Four or
Yeah.
5 months.
She looks like an Orpington or a rock, a bar
No,
rock.
this is a rock and royal and red mix.
She got a
I
pretty
got
voice.
this is girls.
Yeah,
I got
so she's
all hens. I got rid of my roosters. All right.
got.
I'll be right back.
Alrighty, like I said, for my replay champions, put it down in the comments section. Chicken. That's your code word for this replay. So I appreciate all you guys, and I will be doing something special for you. Uh, I really don't think I'm gonna be doing.
Are you about to call it quits?
Uh, shortly. I was expecting the wife to get off at like 2:30. I don't know why she hasn't messaged me yet or been on here.
Yeah. Yeah, like the other ones are a lot more darker red with that same coloration on the neck. They're pretty cool.
I like Orpingtons. They're that heavy meat, big egg layer.
Yeah. These are a brown egg layer. I mean, they're producing pretty healthy eggs. I'm getting really good thick shells.
Nice. Feeding them good.
Oh yeah.
Dark
I
yolks.
feed them. Oh yeah, good like dark yellow yolks, oranges almost. They're like almost orange.
Gotta love fresh eggs.
Oh dude, I had a fried egg sandwich the other day because we collected about 7 eggs now. so far. So we just now started getting eggs.
Nice. So they'll be right at
Now,
the and right before winter starts. So as long as you have them on a heat lamp, they'll be good.
well, I'm thinking about, well, today, because I get paid today, I want to go get chicken feed. If they got chicks, I'm thinking about getting six more chicks.
Yeah, you'd have enough
Because,
time.
oh yeah, that's all I think. I got enough time for them to get, big enough for them to be outside, and I'll be all right for winter. Because like down here in North Central Texas, it doesn't really get that cold. Like maybe 24, 25 degrees, like is the coldest, and it's only like for a day or two.
Yeah, the heat lamp overnight is for to give them a light differential and extra warmth
Oh yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
so that way it increases their laying time so they don't stop laying during the winter.
Oh yeah.
For the shorter days.
And I highly recommend non-medicated chick feed if you're starting. I hate that medicated.
But you want to have that layer feed, right? Right
Yeah.
as they right about where you're at.
Yep.
Or
I
that
already got them on that. And that stuff's expensive. It's like almost $30 a bag for a 50
Yeesh.
pound bag.
Yeesh. Ours is half that price up here.
Yeah.
And again, we have a lot of corn growers out here, so a lot of it's locally sourced.
Well, I've been like, feeding them a lot of scraps too, especially a lot of meat scraps,
Oh
so they
yeah.
get the protein.
Meat and veggies. They love the
Oh
table
yeah, they
scrap.
love tomatoes, man. They'll mess up tomatoes.
I love watching them try to eat it though, especially if you like slice a slice in half
Oh yeah, they're just like chasing each other and stuff. It's fun.
over their fucking beaks, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you." You'd think it was a fully live worm with how bad they fight with it.
Hmm. Well, my chickens are cool too. Like they'll come up here and hang out with me and stuff. Like if I'm out here on the porch, they'll just come up here and chill with me, see what I'm doing.
See, I love
I
hanging
really,
out with. They got such personality. I had this one called
really,
Crooked. She was all bent up, and because she had got stepped on by a bigger animal, so she
oh
was all
man,
walked with a gimp, and her head would be down and to the side, and she like bobbed when she walked. She looked like straight G.
yeah,
She walked. But she was in love with the tractor. Like, you know how the chickens do their love dance with each other? She would go up to the
yeah.
tractor and do a fucking love dance. And I'm like, bitch, you realize that thing is like 3,000 times your size, right?
I love it though. That's funny, man.
No, I can't find her. And then we look, she's sitting, laying an egg. I love this thing. I had a turkey that was bossy.
Dude, I've had turkeys, man. I had Brazos. No, they're the bronze turkeys. They're
This
kind
one
of
was,
like wild turkeys in a way. Dude, he was named it was we had Leroy and what was the other one?
oh, it's so good.
Well, like one of them was a male and one was a female, and like the male man, Leroy did like he'll fuck you up, like even though you raised him and feed him every day and pet him and everything, like you catch that bird off guard, man, like you really just got to go in there like sneak your way into the chicken coop area, because if not, dude, he would turn around and like get you.
You know, I had one like that. So I had the bossy one, then I had the dickhead. So the
Yeah.
bossy one, the ladybird, and she was so sweet though. She would coo, she would lay on you. She would actually nest on my
Oh
ex, which was actually super adorable. I hate my ex,
yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
Turkey was absolutely. She would open up her breast feathers and everything and just nestle on top of you. She was so cute. But the one dickhead, or let me just explain why she was bossy. If we were late, because this was a client's bird, if we were late and we pulled up and we sat there for a minute, smoked the ball, this bird would jump up on the gate and squeak at me. And if I didn't come running, She would walk her fat ass up to me, jump up on my door window, and be like, "Hey, why don't you feed me yet?" Right in the window of the car. But
Oh
then
yeah.
there was three males, the three Toms. Two of them, hand raised all of them, but two of them were super sweet, and one I was walking through feeding the other animals first, and I didn't feed the turkeys first. Oh man, out of nowhere, came up flying at me, and then one of the other ones took him out midair.
Man. Oh, I had all kinds of chickens, man. I used to have they call it Australian giant blacks. I had a couple of those or hens. They got huge. Like there were some pretty good sized chickens. I had those Cornish roosters. They had the feathers on top of their head.
Yeah,
Those things are wicked. They're pretty wild. I had the Americanas. I've had Cornish. Man,
I hate guinea hens.
dude, I hate guineas, dude. They're
The wife will
so freaking annoying. Like I tell
they
you
will
what, my friend had uh, broke up with his ex-wife, and she had probably about three, 34 dozen of those guinea hens out there on the property. He called me up. He's like, "Man, do you want to go have some fun?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Dude, I just got all these guinea hens out here, and I got a bunch of 22. You want to go have fun?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" I went out there. I fucking slaughtered those guineas, dude. I mean, they're good to eating though, but I shot probably about a good 20 of them.
So have you seen my updates for my Patreon and my stores and everything?
Nuh-uh.
I added a ton of new tiers and everybody on my Patreon, except for the limited time tiers that I have right now. The I'm giving people my number for text calls and consultations and stuff. But
Yeah.
except for those three, all the rest of them have merchandise included. Uh, my smallest one is 250, and then the rest it's like incremental from there. It's $2. I mean, super cheap. But the rest is incremental from there. And I've been trying to get some interest and attention towards my Patreon to get people to try to join up. Uh, if when we're done with here, if you wanted to check that out for me, see what you think, maybe share it around for me. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I
Uh,
got some Facebook groups I can throw it on.
and like I said, if it's super cheap. I mean, it's like 250, 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 20, 35. Like that. That's my increments as I go up. So it's like they're super cheap. Every little bit helps. I mean, and everybody
Oh
gets
yeah.
merch. So I mean, if somebody can get merch and like show it off, that'd be awesome. I haven't been able to get merch myself, but I'm hoping the next check that the wife gets.
I mean, the only thing I got is some stickers, but I'm not selling them. Like I just give them to people.
Well, it's like on the Patreon, it's not really selling the merch. It's you join the Patreon for the benefits and the access,
Oh,
the early,
I know what Patreon is.
and then those gifts are included. They just take it out of my profit.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, adding that actually takes away from what I get, but I want to include that as just a way to say thank you. And then I've added a shit ton of new designs and stuff to my stores. I've got a ton of new designs and merch that I added to my bonfire, my Teespring, and my spreadsheet, my spread shirt.
I actually want to collab with you about that because I kind of want to get in that, but I kind of want to do it a little different. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like everybody else.
How so? Like, what was your idea?
Like I believe in the little man in America, right? Like I love the little man. So like with that, I support the little man. So like I know channels that can make logos. I know channels having good, you know what I mean, like supporting others because
Yeah,
like little
that's part
man's
of
suffering right now. Everybody's suffering, man.
yeah.
Fucking $6 at the damn gas station just to fucking for a gallon of gas. Fucking 3 years ago, it was fucking that was a meal at lunch.
Hi, baby, I texted you back. If the camera's not facing me, it's easier to text. Yeah, I got you, Sunfish. That's why I was mentioning it to you because I knew you were into the supporting the little guys and stuff like that. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
like any little bit helps. I mean, right now I have three patrons, two for five, one for 10, and it's awesome. At the breakout, I get $16. So I mean, it's better than nothing. I love that support. I love that people wanted to be included and wanted to join up already, and
Oh yeah.
when I wasn't really doing anything, but now I'm including discount codes, my updates. I let people know what I'm doing ahead of time. I have my members app. I have an app and a website now that I have my code on there that people can join up. Like, there's a ton of stuff.
I have never joined like a YouTube or like any like a membership or nothing to nobody yet.
Let me be your first.
Never
Let me
done it.
pop. Come on, I had to make you laugh.
Let me be your first leaf puppy cherry. Yeah. I'm kind of on a fixed income right now. I'm expecting a little one in August 20th, another girl.
Congrats. 10 days
Yeah.
after my birthday.
Mine's on the 16th, man. That's my birthday. My daughter's on the 17th. I got a 3-year-old daughter. She's fixing to be 3.
Make her middle name Edwina.
Hell no.
My middle name's
Everybody,
Edwin. This is a funny joke.
dude, no. It's just funny because like my girlfriend, she's making like all these weird names. You know what I mean? Like not just like commonly used names, but like some weird ass names.
You should hit her with that.
Shit. Like what the hell?
No, it's so fucked up.
Yeah, man. I'm
Like, 2 lives that I did, I've had nobody in.
like I'll try to help support on that like when I can, but like dude, I got a tribe, dude.
No, I totally get it, bro. I totally get it.
Like I even got 2 stepkids.
I mean, my best example is the way I compared it to people is like, and if not for nothing, I mean, it's pretty much a cup of coffee or half a cup if you go to Starbucks.
Oh yeah. Like what I tell people, like only like I know that I could do that now is like only way I could support you is like just share you out and stuff like that, just share you in the community because like there's all these different communities out there and some of them are really fucked up
Oh yeah.
because of
And
self gratitude. Like oh yeah, I did that. Fuck you. You didn't do it. Excuse my language. But
have you not been fucking listening to me, man? We don't
but you know
fucking.
what I mean? Like that really irks me, and and what really else irks me is a man only thing a man has for real is his word.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody goes behind your back, you know, because of somebody else, and that's just kidding.
See, that kind of makes me think about when you were saying about people people who think they're the shit kind of thing. That they that's kind of the vibe I was getting off that is I had a
I'm
conversation with
about community, but like I'm not about people showboating and holding things over the people. That's not cool. It's like that's kind of like what the government's doing to us right now.
I mean, I had a conversation with someone earlier, and I had done some research and I looked about how the best way to get people to join your Patreon, and
Yeah,
one of the suggestions there was without a doubt the best way is one-on-one conversations to asking people to join, like through messages, you know, whichever way you have to message them, to text, this, that, and the other. So I went through my Facebook list and I was messaging people a copy and paste message that I had that was pretty basic, just saying, hey, I've got my Patreon going. I've done a huge bunch of updates and I've got this, that, and the other. Here's my link. If you could check it out, let me know. I'd appreciate it. If not, could you share it out for me?
yeah,
And, I got one response, which was, oh, I can't do anything right now because of the financial situation, but, I'll share it. And, awesome. Thanks. Definitely get it. I understood that. But
yeah.
then we got one response. You're doing this all wrong. You shouldn't do it like this. You shouldn't ask people because you sound desperate. You shouldn't just be asking people for money because your channel will grow. It'll come in time. You've already planted the seed. Just do it. And I'm like, bro, I know what I'm doing.
I want to stop you on something because this is gonna make you laugh. These are the same people that told you that are leeching around right now. They're leeching, trying to get the subscribers because they have this bright idea that they're gonna be rich off of YouTube. It's so funny.
Yeah, because in the next breath, after he just called me desperate and say I was begging for money and stuff like that, he talks about how he has 30 members for 99 cents each on his members plan because he's got the 3-tier membership plan because he's got 4,000
You gonna hear
subscribers.
something funny that it's gonna really make you laugh? You know how they get all those subscribers? All like if you look at those people, look at those people in that community. You know what I'm
It's
talking about.
sub for sub
Go look at their
community.
numbers. I guarantee you they're all over 1,000 because they paid their way.
Yeah. Dude,
You
I've
got
been hard
photographic proof on that.
for years. Like I've got 310 videos and I've only been doing this for a year. I've been
Yeah.
pumping a shit ton of videos out.
I mean, I know a lot of good people that do it too. But I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
give them out because they haven't did anything to me. I love them.
no, yeah, I got 1,200 right now. I just like I think I'm getting close to 1,300. I had this
Yeah,
jump.
but yeah, you're not on like these other chats right now, betting to get that 1,000 subscriber or 500 subscriber and certain many watch hours. Like that's what they promise because it's all bots that they have. They have like a team of bots that these people put together. Like it's a scam, dude. It's a scam to get your money. And
No,
what
I
they
know.
do is they scam you, but it's a lot of time consumed for them because they got to go different accounts and then watch it and go different accounts, watch it. It's like a big process. But essentially, you pay them to do that.
No, yeah, I've seen videos on the whole buying subscribers and the bot process and everything else, and it's stupid.
Yeah, it is very, very stupid.
And that's the first thing I saw when I looked through, and I'm like 4,000 subscribers, and only 3 videos have even half that.
And the one channel, I'm gonna call this out. Like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, Zombie Prepper, dude. Like, I like Zombie Prepper, dude. You know what I'm
So,
talking about.
so just be respectful, but you can. I'm not gonna, stifle
I
you.
am
Say,
being, I am being respectful. Like, I was respectful when I made this post on my channel. Like, why would I hard earnest, a hardworking American that's a prepper donate all that money to a channel that's not even in the community? Like that raises suspicions to me. And I already knew what they were doing. Everybody else knows what they're doing. But like what I'm saying is like we don't need that shit. Like if you're gonna grow to 1,000, grow to 1,000. Be natural about it.
now I think I know what growth channel you're talking about.
So there's multiple, dude. I can go all day about growth channels, dude.
Well,
Like
see,
even bigger YouTube channels do it too.
there was this one, James Gipe Gipe. I stopped going into his because I went into it and then I was at 1,012 and I'd been sitting there for a long freaking time. And then I went in there and I got 1,017. Then I dropped to 998.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, no, that ain't right. Like, how did I
Yeah.
lose subscribers because I hung out with you? Like, no.
And I'm like, I'm being respectful when I say this. A lot of these people, a lot of these YouTube creators that do what we do, all right, are selfish. Like, oh yeah, I subscribe to you. You gotta watch my stuff. If not, I'm gonna unsubscribe to you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm honest with people. I have not gotten a chance to watch most of the people I'm subscribed to. I have you on my subscription list, so I can get to you. But right now,
Yeah.
my time is so consumed with camp life, the wife,
Yeah.
the dog,
People
YouTube,
don't realize that.
sit and watch.
People don't realize that.
And also the whole if you don't post for X amount of time, I'm gonna unsubscribe to you. You
Yeah.
know there's right?
Like, I don't want those kind of people. Like, like, yeah, I get them, and then they go. Like, cool, you know. Like, I want people that's just gonna stick around and be my friend and talk to me, and like, in a way, I help them. In a way, we all help each other in a way,
What
and
about
that's what,
the
huh?
repetitive comment where they comment the same thing each time? Like, great video, interesting, good job.
Nice. Yeah.
Like,
It's whatever, you
I appreciate the
go with
interaction.
it.
If you took the time to click that fucking thing, could you just say something?
I
I
mean,
respond.
I've had people say, "Oh, your video sucks" and stuff. I don't know why I even watched it, and I like comment back, "Oh, thank you for the view, though."
Yeah, yeah. I've had those. I've had people who totally ridiculed my shit, and I was like, okay, thanks for watching. Though, hey, you want to check it again? Because if you look, there, and I'll just fuck with them, or I'll totally have it out. Because a troll, I can beat a troll at their own game.
Oh yeah.
I'll make a video calling out a troll. I had a video on there that said dedicated to Paul, and
That's
it was.
funny.
My dog is not tied out in the sun. He's got a 50-foot goddamn runner, more space than me, and 4 shade options, and yet this motherfucker sits in the sun. So fuck you.
What kind of dog
Like,
do you got?
that was my entire video because he pissed me off because he tried to say when I did the sunbathing video, he's like, oh, sunbathing? No, he's tied out. He can't move. I was like, really?
Yeah.
This dog has more freedom than most dogs that live in a house. Because guess what? He gets to be outside all day.
My dog gets to do whatever she wants to do. He has
Doggy
no.
door. Ooh. Hey, Scratchy Magoo. Let me get
Oh,
Poochie Poo. Give me a second.
come on, get out here. You gotta go over there. Ooh. Oh, come on,
Let's see the
come on,
face.
come on. Get out. Come on.
Beautiful shepherd.
All right, come back up here. Come back up here. Good girl. Yeah.
Hey, boy, there's a pretty girl on the phone.
This is Journey. She's a girl.
Yeah, I
We
was
know
telling.
German Shepherds are smart as hell.
Hey, look at the pretty girl. Okay, you see the pretty girl? Yes, she's so cute. See her? I had to show my boy. Monster, Monster leaned back his head like, oh, who's that?
Yeah, it's my little German Shepherd. She's about 3 to 4 years old. She's rescued. Now this dog doesn't need a leash.
See, Monster is off leash trained. Creature, I'm pretty sure he's good, but because there are so many dogs around that aren't always on leash, and they aren't entirely the friendliest with other dogs because they haven't been socialized that much.
Hmm.
I I like to keep them contained so I know they're safe, and plus that way I can leave camp and they can stay on their runners and hang out in camp.
Well, I've asserted my dominance over her, so she knows like I'm the alpha. And so like when I rescued her, that's what I had to do because she was just wild, man. Like jump up on you, like take your food from you. It was wild at first.
Oh yeah, these boys know that I'm the top dog and they don't fuck with me because you can even ask the wife, she's still in the chat. All she has to do is say, "I'm telling dad." An instant, they will lay down and be like, "I'm so sorry, mommy. Please don't tell daddy. Please don't tell." And full submit, just mentioning that she's going to tell on them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now,
That's
Creature, I
funny.
had to do that with because he tried to bolt at camp. He slipped his lead, and while we were walking around camp, he slipped his lead and he took off. And he was running up alongside of the creek. It was too deep for him to go into, thankfully, because he's fearless. But he was running up the side of the creek, and I scooped up and around to head him off.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw me, and he went to go tuck to the side, and I had to tackle his ass. And I admit it, I treat a dog like a dog treats a dog, and I fucking pinned his ass onto his back and pinned him and looked at him. So you don't fucking do that. I'm the boss here. And then
Yeah.
we relax, and then he was like actually submitted. And from then on, he doesn't run from me.
A lot of people don't know that. Like that's a simple thing. Like if you show your dominance over your dog by grabbing their back, their neck, and it's not really hurting them because they're naturally getting, by birth was getting picked up by the back of their scruff.
I was gonna say, if you've ever watched a dog tell
And
another
then
dog,
you grab that dog by that scruff as hard as you can and you put them to the ground until they submit. And I've had dogs that didn't do that. Like I've had some dogs that were so stubborn, dude, like they would not submit. They just did their own thing, but they were excellent hunting dogs.
oh yeah, I had to break a killer attack dog grip. Like this dog was known to go after the inner thigh because it was trained to, and it had
Mhm.
tacked multiple people already. And I broke this dog to the point where I got that dog to sit in front of its owner.
Oh yeah.
She was shocked. I put up my hand and I went, "Tsk," and she slid to a screeching stop. Okay, that's all it was. That sound and put my hand up, just two fingers up in the air, and she skidded to a stop. Okay, and then you could almost see it. She kind of like hesitating, and she looks back over her shoulder, sees her mom, and looks back at me and realizes I'm on the other side of the fence, and she fucking listened to me, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Wait, I fucking listened to you, you asshole!" And then she laid down. She still didn't want to listen to me, but I had already broken her, and she listened.
Oh yeah. One thing I've learned a lot about like with not having a lead or like, trusting your dog enough to not do that. Like I could stop my dog. I could stop my dog in a charge. But like what helped me out a lot with her was every time that she went out potty, every time that outside, I had her, on the leash. Like because we built that trust like that first.
Yeah, it's the connection bond. It's the you can't go X amount of distance from me. That's what we are. You go with me. Pay attention to
Hmm.
where I'm. There's this guy. I think his last name is Brennan. He's a dog trainer on YouTube, and that's one of his techniques. Is he'll switch directions, go this, that, and the other, stop suddenly, go forwards, and like he'll keep the dog on their toes the entire time. And within
Oh, yeah.
a few minutes, he can train them to be off leash just by doing that.
Well, when I first got her, I was moving my mom from Kansas, so she went to Kansas literally the day I got this damn dog. I went to Kansas to move my mom back, to move my mom down here to Texas. And so she did really good with that transition, and we like got really close during that transition because like I had to stay like 2 weeks up there in Kansas to help my mom move out. And so in that time lapse and stuff, I actually like got that trust where I didn't have to have a leash.
Yeah, we've got me and the boys, especially me and Creature, have a really tight bond because Creature from the start sleeps in the hammock with me, and he did all last year, all this year. He always sleeps with me. He usually sleeps on my chest, on my lap, and it's such a tight bond that I don't have to say nothing. I look at him, I give him a look, I motion my hand, and he knows exactly what I'm telling him to do, and he'll do it.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a it's I like it
And vice
because
versa, man. You could tell what your dog wants.
oh yeah, you can tell when they're happy.
Oh yeah. Or want to go play.
These boys are content as fuck.
Like my German Shepherd will come up there and nudge your knee and look at you with your ears up. Whoop, and
You
just
know,
like, hey, man, we're gonna go play. Hey.
yeah. See, uh, my boys, what they'll do is they'll look at you, and you know the jut forward, you want to go kind of thing. When you look at someone, you're like you want to go, and you jut your head forward, and you jut your shoulders back so your chest comes forward, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what they'll do. They'll look at you and they'll brace their legs and they'll jut their head forward and they'll kind of look at you and their eyes will go wide and their ears will perk up because that's how I
Oh,
get them to look at and be like, "You want to go? You want to go?" And then I box with them.
well, I play with this one a lot. She has a basketball. Like I buy her a basketball like every month, and she literally just will keep it blown up. She will literally pop it.
Oh yeah, my boys they're husky shepherd mix and monster is uh pit and boxer mixed with the shepherd and husky.
Well, she's full-blooded American German Shepherd.
That
Like
don't
she,
make too much sense.
huh?
That don't make 200% sense.
I know.
Uh,
She's an American Shepherd basically.
Because she looks like a Belgian Malinois.
See, that's what people get confused because of the fact that okay, so like people don't really understand like there's different kind of breeds of German Shepherd.
Oh, I know that. I know there's the short haired like English Shepherd. There's
Yeah,
I've heard of an American Shepherd, and then there's a German Shepherd
yeah.
and Dutch Shepherd.
I
That's the
mean
ones I.
these are a Malamute and a German Shepherd mix. I mean these are like early '90 cop dogs.
Yeah, she is so pretty. I
I'm
love a
fixing to
dog.
get another one that's it's gonna be a, full-blooded German Shepherd with a American German Shepherd as the dad. So the sire is going to be a full-blooded American Shepherd. It's going to be a beautiful dog.
It's mine. Can you leave it? It's mine. Just lay down. Yeah, mommy's home. No, no. Here. Can you lay it down? Yes. Yes. See, it's mom. That's her light. See, it's mom.
Sit.
No.
Sit. All the way.
Boom, 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 boom. Do that tail.
I know. I did up until that. I laughed when you said pulling in, honey. Ha ha ha. That's what she said.
I might get a Malamute. Like I got a buddy that I got a not a buddy. It's my girlfriend's uh, friend. It's the same person I got this dog from, and she has this other one named Max, and he's a Malamute, and that dog is wild. Like he needs to be like trained so bad.
The goddamn bacon. Did I miss s'mores and scotch pairing? No scotch. We got vodka though.
I mean, I wish I.
Vodka.
God, it sounds amazing right
I really want some of that Yankees.
now. Got some rocks. Ugh, yum, yum.
If you can see that TX whiskey, get it. It's pretty good stuff too.
Oh, there's
If
this
you-
company out here. It's a small distiller. It's Yankees Distiller. I'm trying to uh get a sponsorship from him.
Oh yeah.
He said he would, but then he was running into personal issues, so he's taking time off of work. So he said he would get back to me, and then he didn't. So,
Yeah, I can't believe it's already 2 o'clock.
hmm?
It's 2 o'clock here. Yeah, I'm hopefully get some more chickens tomorrow too. That's what I want to do. I mean today. What time is it? Where are you at? Is it like
Um,
just now in the
it's
one
three.
o'clock? Oh, it's 3 o'clock there.
Yep. And speaking of, the wife's home, so I'm probably gonna cut this off and end it out here.
All right.
Thanks for popping up. I mean, anybody on the replay is definitely going to appreciate it. At least there's a conversation. I spent like 20 minutes sitting here just laying on the cot waiting for someone to pop in because I had nothing to say. So if no one popped in, I was going to cut it and leave it at come on, looking at the fire.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, so I appreciate it. And goddamn bacon popped in at the last minute. Thank you for showing up. Hang on. Let me flip that around. You can't pound the fire. Don't want to burn your knuckles.
Ah!
Bang.
All right, later, bro.
Later.
Y'all
Oh
take
yeah.
it easy in the chat too.
Oh yeah, bacon. Vodka definitely works in a pinch.
Oh yeah. Nothing wrong with a little potato water.
Yeah, potato water.
All right, brother. Take it all easy. All right, later.
Yep, you can drop out. I'll do my closeout. Thanks for hanging out. Sunfish for fish. Anybody on the replay, go and check him out. And again, thanks Bacon for popping in. Thanks for hanging out. Trying to show up. I kind of impromptu, kind of just doing whatever. It was just going to be a chat, hangout kind of thing, and uh, just turned out to just be me and Sunfish hanging out for a couple hours. So,
No, 3 o'clock in the morning.
well, even at the beginning, no one was showing up,
When
and
did you stop it?
an hour and 56 minutes ago.
So, like 1:30.
Yeah.
Of course, no one's on it. It's a Thursday. Everyone's getting to work.
And this is why me and the goddamn Bacon are friends. You can't pound the fire, sees redhead. Challenge accepted. And I'm married to a redhead. Well, at least died.
I'm not. I haven't dyed my hair in, but my hair
You're like a blonde red.
Yeah.
It's like the dye seeped in deep. But I love that. definitely gotta jump in earlier next time. Bacon, come and hang out. But thank you everybody for hanging out. Everybody on the replay, catch that code word. And yeah,
What cool.
I left a code word. Yes, I did.
Okay.
It was before he brought the dog. It was when he had the chicken.
Well, I couldn't hear that shit, so.
But so until next time, get out there, be a native, and go beast.